Hello once again. Welcome to the channel. Buckle up because today's story is gonna get a bit rough. YouTube. This video serves to teach about the dangers of drug abuse, therefore raising awareness for it. Please don't take it down. I have tried to censor some of the bad parts. Alright guys, sit back, get some popcorn, and relax. 22-year-old Justine Johnson is said to have killed her 3-year-old daughter by stabbing her multiple times. Apparently, the incident happened only 3 days after Sutton's birthday. When asked why she did it, Justine replied that SpongeBob made her do it. September 17, 2021, at 3 a.m., Justine's brother, Neslie Johnson Jr., called 911 to report that him and his younger brother discovered a garbage bag at their home with a foot sticking out of it. This younger brother, whose name has been kept anonymous because he's still a teenager, woke up around 6 a.m. on the 16th where he saw his sister, Justine, in the bathroom. So far we know of these 3 siblings. Not sure who is older between Neslie and Justine, but the brother who saw Justine in the bathroom is certainly the youngest. According to him, it looked like she was doing lines of cocaine, but he wasn't sure. He asked her where her daughter, Sutton, was, and she responded with, "Mind your fucking business." This response did not alarm the teenager at the time, as he said she'd always been like that. The brother says Justine then left some time later. He also left to go to the beach and didn't return home until 10 p.m., where he found no one in the house and the lights off. Neslie returned home from work at around 3 a.m. and they both searched the house for Justine and their niece, but they were nowhere to be found. This is when they found the bag with the foot and called the police. Officer Gerald Soboleski of the Escoda Township Police Department responded to the call and said he found a blue tote bag which had 2 garbage bags stacked on top of it, and a foot indeed sticking out of it. He said the foot felt cold to the touch. He proceeded to call detectives and a medical examiner. The body would later be identified as that of Sutton, Justine's daughter, who is also Neslie's niece. What do you do when the police tell you that the body you stumbled upon was that of your 3-year-old niece? Right at the back of your house. The shock and grief would just be too much for me. Sutton Mosser's body was wrapped in a comforter. According to Shane Hill, a forensic scientist, investigators found some bloodstains on the closet door by the hallway, living room couches, and on several items in the bedroom. 3 knives were also found in the bedroom, so Hill concluded that the baby was most likely killed in the house. A medical examiner said Sutton had stab wounds on her chest, neck, and abdomen. The police then went to look for the child's mother and found her walking in the nearby railroad tracks. They detained her and asked her some questions, which she refused to answer, so they later arrested her. Ryan Eberlein, a Child Protective Services investigator, interviewed Justine on the 1st of October 2021. According to her, even Justine does not fully understand what exactly happened on the day of the murder. The conversation was very pieced out. We would review things and go back to those things. What Ryan could conclude from the interview was that not so long before the 16th of September, Justine had left her mother's house, which is where Justine, Sutton, Neslie, their little brother and mother lived. She was walking and passed out at a graveyard. She couldn't remember what happened exactly, as she hadn't slept properly for 2 weeks and was also experiencing heroin withdrawals. But she remembers that on the 16th, Sutton was watching SpongeBob SquarePants on TV when the cartoon character started giving disturbing instructions to Justine. It was SpongeBob who was saying these things on the TV. If she didn't do what she did to her daughter, they would kill her. Justine told Ryan that she was afraid for her life and that she'd lost her mind. So we see that Justine probably did realize that she was hallucinating, but the fear probably outweighed her reasoning, because she said that next thing she blacked out, and when she regained her senses, her daughter was already dead. She said she went back to her own apartment where she tried to commit, which failed. So she decided to go back to her mother's house, and as she was on her way was when the police found her by the railroad tracks. These events were reported by the said individuals who testified in court, which took place on the 4th of February of this year. Justine Johnson was charged with felony murder and first-degree child abuse. She pled not guilty to both charges. This is where investigators revealed that Justine was on cocaine on the day of the alleged murder, which corroborates the younger brother's account of seeing her do drugs on the morning of the 16th. Prosecutors asked the judge to move Justine's case to circuit court for trial, which was granted, so a pre-trial hearing has been scheduled for the 28th of February 2022. Justine is set to remain in jail for the time being, without bond. The judge had this to say. This case is a horrible tragedy and I cannot imagine the level of grief felt by the family that loved this child. My here goes out to the family who's here, good luck to you, Justine, as your case proceeds. Justine faces life in prison with no possibility of parole for murder, plus an additional life sentence for child abuse charges. In an unexpected twist, Justine's mother and Sutton's grandmother, Elisa Johnson, actually defends her daughter. My daughter loved her daughter. People are portraying her as someone she's not. By the way, the murder occurred at her house. She had invited Justine just a month and a half before the murder so she could help Justine look after the baby. Justine and Sutton had only been living there for a month and a half before the murder occurred. Personally, I don't understand parents like this. They think as though their children can never do wrong. Oh, it had to be someone else, not my child. This is the most extreme case I've come to hear about where the parent remains deluded even after the child confessed to something like murdering their own grandchild. Such parenting damages a child because it's highly possible that the child doesn't get discipline. Open your eyes to your children's true character before it is too late. Justine was probably trying to leave heroin, hence the many sleepless nights and withdrawals, which when combined brought about deadly hallucinations. If you also happen to be suffering from drug addiction but cannot afford rehabilitation, I encourage you to please search for state-funded rehabs. There indeed are free and low-cost options, but you just need to do your research. SAMHSA, which is the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, has a grant program which allows them to provide pregnant and postpartum women along with their children comprehensive substance abuse treatment and recovery support services. Their website allows you to enter your city or zip code so you're able to find treatment near your area. I have attached their website in this video's description, so check them out. This website is for those in the United States, I think, which is where this story occurred, so I'm not sure about other countries and the like, but some research will go a long way in helping you and those around you. Just as with this story, you never know what might happen, so act now before you do something you will probably end up regretting forever. Thanks for watching till this far. Leave a like and subscribe to never miss any uploads from me. I'd love to hear what you think about this story down in the comments. Oh, and over to you.